Welcome back, everyone. It's been a few weeks since the last video. Could have been longer than that. Maybe it was a month. Don't know, should have checked. I apologise for the slow upload of videos. It's just, there's a lot going on at the moment, and if I'm not in the mood to edit a video, I won't. Plus, when you're at work all day, the last thing I want to do is come back and edit a video. So, luckily this is a pickups video. They're easy to edit for the most part. So, what have we got to talk about? Well, quite a lot. We've got... Oh, there's no charity shop, actually. I was going to say charity shop, there's not. A couple of random game shops. I should have wrote the name of these game shops down before I started the video. Hopefully I'll remember them. Leeds Retro Fair. I think a few people have been waiting for this video. There's one item, which I'm going to show you. A lot of controversy about this, but we'll get to that. A few I got picked up from work, and yeah, just the games room is still in construction. I know I've been saying that for the past year. I put some stuff somewhere, and then I have to move it around. The latest problem is, you see the Saturn there. Don't display your games like that. I've got to move them all at some point, because basically I'll try and describe it the best I can. The cases are that shit that when you put them like that, it's probably more the cardboardy ones, which we all know are dog shit. Not so much the plastic ones. But if you open one, the disc falls out, the manual goes flying because there's no support for anything in there. So basically, when you've got it like that, with the title the right way up, the manual presses on the disc, and if it's left long enough, like I assume years and years and years, it bends the disc. So when you put it in your Saturn, it's catching basically. And I found out the hard way because it was 3-Day Dwarfs, which is the one which won't play. So I've read you can bend them back, maybe. So currently it's upside down up there, trying to bend the disc back. I've quickly gone through some of the other ones. They seem all right. It was just that one. But basically I want to... the plan is the 360 stuff's being moved. This was in part to Stuart, TT UK. He was like, get rid of that 360 shit. So basically they're going to go... I'm going to build a new shelf over here, hopefully. One day, maybe, we don't know. And then the Saturn stuff can go where the 360 stuff was. I don't think I'd fit a full set on there. I'm unsure on that. What's kind of annoying is I wanted the Mega Drive. I want it in order, basically. Apart from the Mega CD, that just sort of fits perfectly. You probably can't even see what I'm pointing at. Basically, here is where I put my Mega CD. And I was hopefully going to move the two DVD-sized shelves here up one, and then that sort of Blu-ray Xboxy shelf, put that down here, and then put Mega Drive games on there. Because Mega Drive cases are roughly the same size as a Blu-ray case. No, they don't. They're just slightly too small, which is really annoying. So I'll figure that out. Maybe one day. So look out for that game room tour. It'll probably be like 2022 or something when that finally gets done. So that is the update on the games room. There's not a massive amount of stuff to show here, but I know a lot of people they want me to show that game I got from the Leeds Retro Fair. So shall I do that first? We'll do that first. Get that out of the way. So I wasn't planning on going to the Leeds Retro Fair, but very kindly, Danester offered me a lift up there, and also Tutti and Rob. So I wasn't gonna go, but he was like, "Oh, your house is sort of on the way," so it just makes sense. So it was very kind of you. Thank you very much for that. And if you've not checked this channel out, definitely check it out. It's basically the same as stuff I do. I'll put a link, if I remember, hopefully I'll remember, in the description, so go check that out. And I'm sure everyone knows who Twitch UK is. But anyway, we all went down. It was on the Saturday. I get confused now because sometimes they put them on Sundays. Throws everything. I'll put them on Saturday, so if I stand at one, I can sort of get back and unload my stuff and relax on the Sunday, because the hard work. But yeah, so we've got some good stuff. We did get in early, so big shout out to the chap who runs it, Steve Smith. Just to do some footage and stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't do any footage because I thought I'll look around and then I'll do quick, like, some footage. But literally, I got a bit carried away with buying stuff, and the next thing you know, there was people everywhere, and it does get packed in there, and it seemed really busy, this one. Like, literally, I came out probably an hour and a half after it opened, and they were still queuing to get in. I know there's a limit on how many you can let in, but I was just surprised, and they're like queuing outside as well, so I was pretty surprised by that. So it could be an event I look into doing. I don't think it's because maybe it's the first one of the year, and everyone wants that. They need their retro fix, but so yeah. So it was a pretty decent event, to be honest. Got some great stuff. A lot of the usual faces there, the big sellers, and I tend to shy away from them because I find the prices can be a bit all over the place, to be honest. But there was some like smaller stalls, and there was a chap there, and straight off the bat I could tell his stuff was fairly well priced because there was quite a few people around the stall, and I picked up some great stuff from him. So what did I get from him? What did I pick up first? He had a lot of PS1 stuff, and it was pretty much all the same price. I think PS1 is a £3. There was a few more expensive titles, which were... Is this? No, still looking for it. Yeah, he had like little tubs with a bit more pricier stuff in there, but they were still pretty well priced, to be honest. I think he had like the Crash Bandicoot games, and they were like £6-7 each. A couple of Spyro games, which is a really good price. So initially, he had like a pouch on the floor with some CDs in, just some loose PS1 games and stuff. And I was sort of flicking through it. There wasn't really much in there, and he was like, "Oh, you can have free for £1 on the loose discs." So I found 3 discs in there, and we've got Croc 2 and 2 copies of Dino Crisis. So I mean, they're not in the best condition they'd play, to be honest. I think I've got a case for that Croc 2, so that will be going in the collection probably, that one. I think I've got a case, could be the first one maybe, but £1 for them. And then his mate was like, "Oh, you got a great deal there." I was like, because obviously Dino Crisis has gone up in price quite a lot. I mean, granted, these are discs only, but... So, left there, and then came back probably, like, 20 minutes later, because they were sort of unpacking stuff, and I feel a bit awkward, like, just hanging around, so... And then I picked up, well, the rest of the stuff I got off him. So, I had, like I say, PS1 is with £3 in a big tub, and I managed to pick out some fairly decent titles. First off, we've got one for the collection. We've got Siphon Filter, so I've never played Siphon Filter, but for £3, and it's in fantastic condition. I mean, for £3, can't complain. Here's a question for people out there. Did Siphon Filter ever come in like a normal case? Because it's one of them, they're slightly smaller than your average PS1 case. And they've got, you can tell they have that sort of dip there. But yeah, I was unsure. Maybe maybe you can get a platinum version in the bigger case. But yeah, so I've got that £3. That's not far off the going rate. It's probably like a £4 or £5 game, but one for the collection. Then we've got this one, and I just sort of went in blind on this one. I know the PAL version is about a £20 game, and this is the American version of it though, and the case is broke. It's Digimon World. Obviously it's American. Oh yeah, needs a new case. But yeah, seems in good condition disc. And the manual is obviously the front covery, which is, it's not the best condition. But new case, say £3. I'm not sure how rare the American one is. I'm guessing it's probably about the same. Say I don't really collect PS1 American versions unless they didn't come out over here. I still need the PAL version of that. And then another one which is about a £10 to £15 game. It's just the manual's not in the best condition, but the rest's fine. So for £3 again, we've got Yu-Gi-Oh for the PS1. Needs a new case, although it's not in the worst condition. It's just the manual. It's been folded in half. You're probably not going to see that very well, but there's like a crease mark running through it. Yeah, there you go. But so the disc is fine. So anyone who collects PS1 will know that's worth £3 all of the day long. So I've got them, and then he had a tub of PS2 games on the floor. Like I said, they were still unpacking, so I felt a bit awkward. And so, how much of the PS2? They're in a bag actually. These ones. How much of the PS2 games? And he goes, 50p each. So I was just like, okay then. So I grabbed these 4. Pretty much, there's a couple I'm going to resell. I might keep that one. I've got that one actually. Excuse me 1 minute. No. Oh yeah, I have got it. So it would just be a check the condition, see if it's better. Anyway, that game in question is Makan Shao Demon Sword. That's probably not how you say it. No manual with that one. Let's say 50p. I'm sure it's about an £8 to £10 game. Dragon Quest. Everyone knows that that's worth more than 50p. It's a £6 to £7 game again. The disc's not in the best condition. Oh no, it is alright. It's actually spotless. So 50p for that. This one, literally, I picked up these other 3, and then this one I was just like, whatever, just round it off. I think it was £11 in the end. A-Train. Don't know much about it, but it's in pretty alright condition. Could do a new case, because I don't think this is much. I think in CX it's like £2.50, something like that. And the last one is Drakengard, the first one. Now the second one is quite a pricey game nowadays. It's about a £35 to £40 game. Last time I checked, could have gone down a bit. But yeah, it's all there, 50p. I do believe I need this one, so it might be a case of putting it in a new case and seeing what it looks like. But I'm sure the disc, I've just checked the disc, I'm sure the disc's alright. That's probably going to stay in the collection. Like I say, it just needs a new case. It looks a bit yellow, but I think that could just be dirt. It's real grubby, that one. So that was just to pay for all that. So that was £11 for them, and then £1 for them games, so £12 for all that. So that was a pretty good find. Some good, alright stuff for the collection. Also, I said the best thing to last. Saw this. This was a I might just open it. This was quite a pricey store, probably a bigger seller. You could say. I say normally don't really buy. He had some really nice PS2 games. His prices weren't terrible. They were about CX prices. But I'm sure this was the chap who Scott tried to buy something off him, and he wouldn't budge on the price. But I saw this, and it was in like a fancy box, and it is Transformers. I believe if you look on CX, it's under Transformers Director's Cut. I believe that's what it's under. But it was £10 or for £10. I tried to knock him down. He wasn't having any of it. I asked him what was in it, like apart from the game, and he was like, "Oh, don't know, just the game in it." I was like, brilliant. So we're going to open it right now and see what's actually in it. The cardboard box is not too bad. It is slightly crushed just there. I don't think you'll see that. There you go, just there. But I've never seen it in the cardboard box, so quite a nice one to find if you ask me. I suppose it's a pretty good game. I actually watched someone talking about it on... Jesus Christ, I can't get it out. On, it was like underrated PS2 games or something. No, it's actually just the game in there, which is really odd if you ask me. But so there's the game inside. Yeah, that's... I mean, there's this in there, which looks like something sat in it, like in the squared bit. Maybe not. I tried looking it up, but I could not find anything on it. But I didn't have a proper look. But yeah, it's in lovely condition. I guess the out-of case has took the brunt of the damage over the years. There's nothing in here. I believe it's a £5 game in CX. It's you just don't see it with the cardboard sleeve. So that was quite a nice find. So I ummed and ahed about buying it. I was just like, it's £10. Put in the bin. Right, one last thing, and then we got on to the controversial item. So literally, this was my last look round. And again, this was from a bigger seller. I think I've spoke to the chap before because he sometimes watches my video. I should have got his... It doesn't say Golden Saucer Games. Yeah, I'm sure I spoke to the chap here. And again, his price is fairly reasonable. And there's room for movement, like with this item. And say, I'm trying to get some more Neo Geo Pocket games, and saw this one. Checked eBay, checked CX. He had it up at £45, and it is Crush Roller for the Neo Geo Pocket. Lovely condition. You don't really find these in bad condition, and they're pretty good cases. Just checking CX on the fly. We are. Excuse me, 1 minute. Yeah, it's up for 50 in CX boxed, or 80 for a mint one. You probably would get mint for this. But the thing which really sold it on me, on the front of the box, just here, it says cross ring included, which is some sort of, I assume you put it over the D-pad, and it does, I'm not sure exactly what it does. But I saw them and I was just like, you ain't going to find a copy with them in, they're probably going to be missing. But so it's all there. I believe it comes with, is it multiple language instructions? It looks like there's 3 different instructions in there. But so he had it for 45, said, is that your best price? And he says, no. So then he checked and he says 40. I was just, yeah, I'll get that. So Neo Geo games and CX, they don't come up very often. And when they do, it's pretty much always the same titles. So stuff like this, pretty obscure stuff. Right. Here we are. We've arrived at that moment. The controversial game. So, this is from... I don't want to say a bigger seller, because I spoke to Stu about him, and he sort of does a bit of wheeling dealing with CX. He gets some of his stock from CX. and then flips it back through. It's a good way of doing things, if you ask me. I could do that. I could spend my money on stock and then sell it at the game show, especially when you're paying nothing for the stock at the car boots. I mean, I don't know where he gets his stuff from, so I don't know what his markup is. And his prices are fairly reasonable, and say there's room for movement in them. So I was looking for his PS2 games. I think I was speaking to the Retro Heads, so shout out to the Retro Heads, Chris and Gav. I think Gav was standing near me, and he was chatting to, I believe it's Chris, who runs the stall. And I saw this game, and I looked at it, and it was 10 quid, and it was Everblue 2. Again, one you don't see very often. It's in CX, and it's a £10 game in CX. But it is nice condition. And I was just like, because there was a couple of copies in CX. Like I say, there's about 4 copies in stock, which are not many. So I was looked at it and I was like, I was sort of flicking through the other PS2 games. And I initially went past it, and I was just like, went back to it, and I was just like, I'm sure that's the game Eddie Rollercore mentioned in his 505 Street Game collection as one of the more rarer titles. So I pulled it out. I looked at it and thought, I'm sure this is it. You can't really, you're not checking, I can't check on the internet because there's literally my phone, no signal at all. And I was like, I'm 90% sure this is that expensive game. And it was up for £14. So I looked at it and I was like, I feel like I can haggle him down a little bit. So I grabbed Everblue 2 and I grabbed this game, Gun Club, £14. And I said, oh, you do 20 for these? And he went, yeah, sure. So yeah, got these for basically a tenner each. So I got it, and then I was like, I'm going to find Eddie just to ask him about this game. And then I bumped into Stuart, 22UK, and he was like, he knows what it is as well. And then when I found Eddie, he was just like, oh my god. But the best thing about this is, it's the English version, which is supposedly extremely rare. I think they're saying they've only ever seen one copy of it in English. So, and I was just like, okay. And I don't want to say what was mentioned about how much it could be worth, because it's worth what someone's willing to pay, basically. I mean, initially I was thinking about £100, but I suppose it's way more than that. So yeah, they were gobsmacked. And then obviously, because the lads like to stir the pot, they went back to the chap's stall and started like going, oh, you got this, I'm looking for this game Gun Club, it's supposed to be really rare and all this. And I was like, oh god. So as the chap wasn't bothered that he sold it, he was more annoyed that I knocked him down, which, if you know me, I knock everyone down. If I see a price, that ain't the price, I'm going to knock you down. And chances are, if you don't drop the price, I probably won't buy it, depending. Obviously, I bought that Transformers game, but like I said, it was only a tenner. And I would have paid the 14 quid, to be honest. But yeah, so I felt a little bad, but then on the other hand, it's like, well, it's your stall, you should do the research. Just because, I'm sure I've sold stuff on my stall and people have gone, whoa, that's underpriced. And they've bought it and they've put it on their own stall. Maybe not to this degree, if it's worth what it is worth. If it's worth what it is supposedly worth. But, yeah. So, supposedly, yeah, I sort of avoided the stall after that. Because I was just like, don't like confrontations. But yeah, supposedly this is a really expensive game. I know a lot of people say with 505 games it's Rule of Rose, which is really rare in the English version. I don't think it is, because you go on eBay and there's multiple English copies of it. I'm pretty sure someone has started a false rumour. I've heard it before. They said, oh, it wasn't released over here, and it was only press copies which got released. but you see them all the time. So I'm just like, I find that hard to believe. So I think Rule of Rose English version, you're talking about £1,000, but I've said I suppose that's rarer. So controversy. There's the controversial story. So that was the Leeds Retro show. I really enjoyed it. Bought some great stuff, as you may have seen. So it got a bit packed in there, but it's just these events, they get packed. And if you want anything decent, you've got to go first thing. And it's a mix of, you're going to get your high-end sellers, but they're the ones who have the rare stuff. And say some people, money's no issue. If they want something, they'll buy it regardless of the price. And then there's people like me who like to knock everyone down because I'm a cheapskate and I like to squeeze every saving I can out of everything. But yeah, so thank you. Just say, who else did I see there? I don't think I saw any. No, I can't think of anyone else. There probably was other people. I do apologise. But yeah, so big thank you to Dana for taking us up there. It's just nice not to drive for once and get a couple of drinks. So anyway, with that said, what else have I bought? I'll show you this. I bought this off a website called the Game Collection. Oh, I need a drink. Excuse me. Wet the old whistle. The Game Collection, I believe that is what it's called. And the prices are pretty decent, to be honest. And they do the points thing where every time you buy stuff you get a certain amount of points. And I saw this and I was just like, and I've got Game Pass and this is on there, but it comes with a season pass. I believe the season pass is like £18 to buy on its own. And this comes in a swanky metal case. And it is a Metro Exodus. And it cost me about £12.50 once I'd paid not my points off it from previous purchases. What I don't understand about this is, I mean, it's nice. So it comes in, it's got like this outer plastic sleeve, and then it's got like a metal tin. So there's the outer plastic sleeve, a metal tin, and then there's a steelbook inside the metal tin. Just seems slightly excessive to me. A tin, and then a bit of plastic as well. But supposedly it's a fairly decent game. I've played the other two. I really enjoyed them. I guess this is more the same with more swanky graphics. It comes with a code of Metro 2033 as well for free. Probably won't use that because I have no need because I've got it. So that was that. I bought this today actually, this game. Another Xbox One game. I had a quick look at the reviews. Some people said it was quite addictive. It looks yeah, doesn't look that good. But this is The Police on Xbox One. And it was a massive £3 from Cash Converter. The world's worst stickers. They are. You cannot get these stickers off. But it's like a strategy game, I believe, where you're the head of the police and you've got to send your officers out and just deal with stuff. So sounds fairly interesting. That's for £3. It's worth a punt. Right, some games from Argos here. Some of you may have seen Argos was getting rid of loads of the 3DS stuff. I missed out on most of it. They were selling off the Bravely Default second edition collector's editions for $4.99. So I missed out on most of the good stuff. And a lot of the people on Facebook were showing photos of them, like stacks and stacks of games they've bought. And I was just like, I don't think there's much money in them to be made. But the first one I bought, and this came back in stock, it's WarioWare Gold for the 3DS. $5.99 this one was. I saw a photo on Facebook and someone had probably 200 of these all stacked up. And I was just like, that's going to be a tough sell, surely. But hey, if you can make money off it. And yeah, it looks pretty fun. It's your typical WarioWare game, I guess. Mini games. And for $5.99, not going to leave it there. Then a week or two after that, they dropped more in price, and I nearly bought this one. I think these were $12.99, and they dropped to $7.99. So we've got Mario Party Star Rush. So, I mean, to be honest, I don't even know why I bought that one. I was just like, I'll buy it. This one I'll probably play. It's Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for the 3DS. I mean, graphically it was really good, because then it's a Wii U game originally, and then they ported it on the Switch. And this is a great little fun game. Definitely worth $7.99. So some Argos bargains there. And I believe they still have some of these games in stock, so just check your local. Right, a couple more things. Oh, there is one charity shop thing, I just realised. So, me and Amanda went down to Southwold on the East Coast for a couple of days. Hit a few charity shops along the way, mainly where those game shops. So the first place we stopped, I can't think where it is. There was a shop called the Game Cave, and to be honest, I didn't really have much in there. It was more modern stuff. But so I went to a couple of charity shops, didn't find anything. It was like, I think I found one game. It was like SingStar. But there was one charity shop, and you sort of go up these stairs, and just as you come around the corner, you can see where the CDs are. And this was on the end, so normally I wouldn't have seen it. And I saw it, and it was Control. And I was like, I'm sure that's that game on by Remedy on Xbox One and PS4. It was a bit closer, and I was like, it is. So there it is. For £1, I got me the official soundtrack to Control. So that was that. And then we went to, was it Norwich? Sure, it's Norwich. To a shop there, and I'm sure it was called Last Level Games. If it's not, I'll put a little thing in to tell you who it is. A great little store, actually. So one of the games I bought, I quickly put it on a WhatsApp group I'm on. And Nath Retro 1, I believe that's his channel name. Got a link in the description, check it out. He commented, oh, that's my local game shop. So I spoke to him for a bit about it. And yeah, it's got some right stuff at some pretty decent prices on his stuff already. And of course, I knocked him down. You got to ask in these retail stores. And it wasn't much off, but I was going to pay it anyway. So mainly PS2 games we've got. One of them I was really happy with. The rest, I mean, they were sort of around CX prices. One is quite under CX prices. So first off, we got Gungrave. This was, if you can see that, probably not £10. It's in alright condition. It's been attacked by a game at some point back in the day. And Gungrave Overdose. And again, lovely condition. That was 15 on that one. So it was them two. And then I picked up this PSP game, Disgaea 2 Dark Hero Days, which I'm not sure if it's the port of the PS2 version or if it's their own unique game. Again, I had 15 on. I'd say lovely condition. And the one I was most happy about getting is slightly damaged. It is Dragon Sisters for the PS2. This was up at 20, and the only thing wrong with it is it's had a price sticker on the actual inlay there, here, and a big one just along there, which covers the whole thing. And obviously they've not took that one off, but they've pulled these ones off, and they've sort of pulled slightly in the picture off. It's internally fantastic. Now, the weird thing about this one is, going back to the same vein as Gun Club, this is an English version. I can't find an English version on eBay. They're all Italian, so I don't know if it's rare or not. Again, it's one of those, I don't know, but it looks fairly interesting. So it's not a 505 game, It's a Essential Games. So that was that. And that all came to £60. And he knocked a £5 off. So I was just like, yeah, no problem. Real nice chap, actually. He had some lovely stuff. He had a Sega Sports Black Dreamcast from America. I think it was £100, which is a really good price. But someone had modified it. They put a power unit in it, and the bottom of it was white. Initially, if you hadn't told me, I'd probably bought it. But I was just like, oh, yeah, that's a deal breaker right there. So that was that. I'll run out of time here. So anyway, the last thing is, so check that store out if you're near that area. Good little store. Trying to think, I went to King's Lynn on the way back from Southwold, and there was a game store there called, I'm sure it's called the Gamepad. Again, I'll put a link here. And they had some nice stuff again, and he had a lot of stuff in these glass cabinets and stuff. But one thing I noticed, that a lot of the covers were actually reprinted, and it didn't state on them that they were reprinted. And there was a lot of high-end stuff in there, and I got a real bad vibe from it. And a lot of the high-end stuff, pretty much, in fact, most of the stuff in the cabinet didn't have a price on it. So I was just like, I'm not really that interested, because if you're not going to spend the time to price your stuff up, then I'm not going to ask you, and then you're going to walk off, I've got to check it on eBay, and then give me some ridiculous price. So I was just like, nah. There was a CX down the road from that. Again, I went there specifically for some PS2 games. One that they'd sold, and the other was a reprinted sleeve, but at least they'd put on it reprinted sleeve. So I think I bought 2 games from there, which were part of my voucher from a CX Carbon Exchange video, so won't show them. But that was King's Lynn. I mean, the Gamepad store, it was alright. But I kind of go to them stores for the high-end stuff, see what they've got, the more rare stuff. But it wasn't priced up, so I'm not going to ask. Sorry about that. The camera ran out of memory, so I had to delete some videos. So the last thing to show you, actually could have shown this in my last video, completely forgot about it. It is, I'm going to show you now, it's a console. It is a boxed Vextrex. Now, quite a story about this one. The chap at work sent me a picture just randomly one day going, oh, a chap I'd mow his lawn for just gave me this. Is it worth anything? I was just like, yes, it is definitely worth something. So that's sort of the end of that. And then I was speaking to him at work, and he said, oh, the chap's got cancer, terminal cancer. He said he had a load of games for it, and he said he was going to give them to him. But obviously that was it. He didn't want to push it anymore because, the poor chap had cancer, and, he just left it at that. And then, like, a couple of months went past. I was trying to buy it off him, but he was looking on eBay, and he's just one of these people who's like, one sold for £500. I'm just like, yeah, that's probably because, stuff sells for stupid prices sometimes. And granted, some did sell for that, but then others sell for like 200 quid. And he's like, oh, this one's listed for £1,000. I'm just like, yeah, again, that's listed, not sold. So again, just sort of left it. I was hoping he might get the games, but I wasn't getting my hopes up. And then unfortunately the chap passed away. I wasn't expecting the games or anything. So then after that I was just like, oh, I think I offered him 180 for it, and he was like, oh no, I can get more for it than that. So I was just like, kind of left it. And then supposedly the chap's brother, who passed away, contacted the chap I know at work saying, oh, he said before he died that if I get these games out of his loft, you can have them. So he managed to get the games out and he gave them to him. So we've got 9 games with it. So in no particular order. These are all with the inlay and the overlay with the instructions and everything. I mean, they're not in the best condition, but they're all pretty decent condition, I suppose. Armor Attack. So I've not actually played. I played some of these, not all of them. Solar Quest, Rip Off. That one's a pretty nice condition. Starship, Cosmic Chasm, Scramble. This one's probably the worst condition one. Clean Sweep. Wow, falling off. Bedlam. It's a bit crushed, that one. And Berserk. So they're all complete. They've all got the overlays and the manuals. So that was that. So I sort of thought there is rare Vectrex games. There's nothing massively rare in there. I think there's the most expensive one about £40-ish, and they're a little bit tatty, some of them. So I think I paid him $300 for it. I'm sure it's $300. But when I got there, I was like, there was no inlay in the box, because he was saying, oh, it's in great condition, all this, and there's no inlay in the box, or the top bit of polystyrene was also missing. I say inlay, there's no manual. I keep saying inlay. There's no manual or inlay in the box. Inlay! Yeah! There's no polystyrene bit for the top of the console, and there was no manual for it. So I was like, what the hell? This is, So I paid him the $300 anyway, and then next day at work he was like, you only give me $290. I was just like, well, I told you to count it. I gave him the money and said, you best count that, because I'm not the best. And he was like, you know what, don't worry about it, because the box is missing the inlays anyway. But yeah, such a unique system. I've actually got it set up just there. There it is, down there. So when I want to play it, I just spin it around and play it while it's sitting on that little table. But I think there's 20-ish games released for it. I'll say the screen, it's so bright and looks awesome. So pretty glad I got that. Think I got it for a fairly good price. Keep moving this. It's more central. But yeah, so that is the last of my pickups. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.